is going to happen is to get you to do the work, to get out of your ego. Wanting to know exactly when things are going to happen is a very ego based thing. It's a very mind over heart, mind over intuition thing. In this day and age, especially as a chosen one, you got to be trump tight with your, I'll mention it, with your intuition. For those of you, because this came up in the downloads, a lot of downloads came through to the collective. This is why some of you who we've been having one on ones and a lot of text messaging and phone calls back and forth, there's a lot of downloads coming through this weekend. So pay attention to not only our sessions, but what your guys are trying to do. That man that everybody in America is so mad at, y'all don't even realize that this whole thing was never about him. This is his humiliation ritual. If you knew what he was up to in the late 80s and throughout the entirety of the 90s, things would make a lot more sense. And we could circle back around for those of you who have questions. But as for you on your journey, the pathway that you're on, keep going. You know what you want. You know what you asked for. You know that it's coming because you could feel it. You've had dreams about it. Some of you had the dream last night that confirmed that everything is going according to plan. Now, if you had a dream that was something other than that, that means you have more work to do. And that too is part of the journey. Do not get so hung up on the earthly things of having to know that this is going to happen at 5, this is going to happen around the new moon, we know that things have the potential to happen around this time and that time, but don't be so caught up in it that you miss the magic of the moments that take you from here to where you want to be. Right? Use this time to start making space with this clean it up card. Start making space to receive the things that you've been hoping for, praying for, asking for. Because again, for the umpteenth time, it's coming. You're coming into a season where things are going to manifest into your reality. Some of you have gotten the word to keep to yourself over the next few weeks. Just take care of yourself, take care of your family, and let the chips fall as they may for the collective as well in your personal life. For those of you who that message was for before we went live, about the karmic being super mad because your person either blocked them or some other way just not talking to them. Your person is very antisocial, where before they used to be a social butterfly because they're thinking about all the possibilities that they can have with you. They are super duper focused on doing the things, preparing, talking about making room for the very things that you want. Your person's preparing to build a life with you. For some of you, you already know that. For some of you, you already have plans. For others of you, this is your heads up, which is not to say that's going to happen today or this weekend or this week or in August or even in 2026, but it's happening. We heard yesterday during the love reading that a lot of the blocks, the spiritual blocks that have stood between you, not even between you, between divine lovers, two people that are supposed to be together because they have a divine mission in the world, are being removed. If you'd like a personal reading, that information is in my stories on TikTok. There's no place like home. Some Another confirmation that somebody knows that you are their home. They know they fumbled you and they are literally sick over the fact that because Neptune going retrograde, right? We were told this earlier in July, is going to remove the barriers, is going to remove the blockages, the cloudiness, the cotton balls that have been put over your person's eyes that prevented them from seeing the situation for what it truly was. Some of you were specifically told that you are the lighthouse. You are your person's beacon of light, hope, inspiration, and encouragement. And they want nothing more than to come back home. They want nothing more than to make things right with you. They're Queen of Pentacles. You or this person could be a Capricorn, but it's the energy of wanting to solidify the bond. wanting to lock you down, not just because they don't want anybody to have you, no, because they want to be the one that puts a smile on your face every single day. They want to be able to wake up to you every single day. You, this person, could be born on the 31st or the 13th or the 4th of any month. This is somebody who is coming in, and we heard this earlier in the week, to propose because they are sick. I'm hearing that song by Neo. Gotta change my answering machine, right? Being so sick of love songs, right? But that's all they listen to. Being so sick of those moments of missing you, but they can't help themselves to do anything else. I didn't want this to be a love reading. This was supposed to be a general reading. But some of you lovers really, really needed to hear that. Community building, healings. This person is serious. This ties into the message we got earlier in the week, or maybe last week, of the person reaching out to older people that they know, maybe uncles, older co-workers, getting good advice on how to rebuild this relationship with you. This is somebody that has been praying. When we see the world card in traditional tarot, well, that's another story for another day, right? Leo energy, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio energy, cycles ending for a new cycle to begin. For some of you, your person is still in that playgirl, playboy energy. Side note, we spoke very, very little about doing love spells on your person, and you were warned not to do it. Now you see what the karmic is going through, because for some of you, the karmic spent good money. I'm not talking about $50 here, $50 there. I'm talking about mortgage payments worth of money to tie your person down. And it may have worked for a little bit, but like I told you guys yesterday, those spells do not work for the long term, right? You have to keep redoing them in order for them to stick. And it comes to a point where it always backfires. Now, if you've been hearing all the noise coming out of Miami, we're not going to get too deep in it, especially my YNs, my younger generation, my 20 somethings. Let that be a cautionary tale. Look what's going on with who did what to manipulate this person into buying them this and sending them a check and spending a bag. That's all fun and games till it's time to pay the piper. Remember that, whether you're 20 something or 50 something, because everybody wants to play reindeer games. Everybody wants to take a shortcut, but on this journey that you're on, chosen one, on the route that has been traced for you, chosen one, there are no shortcuts. The minute you attempt to take a shortcut is the minute you forfeit your destiny. The minute you attempt to take a shortcut is the minute you forfeit your destiny. And that's a side note for somebody that is leaning into the energy of desperation and willing to try any and everything. Baby, don't. If your person doesn't come back, it's because they're not supposed to. Where you're going, especially as a chosen one, is a place of high regard. Being crowned is not something to be taken lightly. Look how long it took for Idris Elba to be knighted, with all the great work that he's done, with all the great work that you've done. You really want to forfeit that for some momentary 60 seconds of fun type energy when your guys have something bigger, better, and stronger for you? Leo season is continuing to do the work, continuing to do the cleaning up to prepare you to receive that wish fulfillment on every single level. Don't let the illusion of things looking like they're not happening trick you into doing something that you're not supposed to. They want you to sit pretty in your full knowingness, unshakably knowing that everything, regardless of what it looks like, is working out for your highest and your greatest good. This mature woman energy is not that older woman energy. It's the energy of knowing, mind, body, and soul, whether you're a masculine or feminine, that you've done the work in 2026 and earlier. You put in your request. Now you're just sitting pretty, waiting for the tides to shift. Mhm. Waiting for the season to change and you receive all the good things that you have coming, Empress, Emperor. Lastly, we have confirmation. If they haven't come back yet, let them be. Going back to what was said earlier in the week, this is not to say that they will never come back, but if they're truly meant for you, they will catch up to you. For some of you, the sad part about this karmic that did the reindeer games and the bippity boppity boo to keep you and your person apart, even though it was the work that kept you guys apart and your person's coming into the realization of this, it doesn't change the fact that they did what they did and they said what they said. There is justice that they have to pay, right? Some legal divine justice that has to be served during Saturn's retrograde before they get the all clear to be with you. Your guides, and for some of you, even their guides won't let them come near you until they show and prove that they are ready for the forever that they're thinking about, dreaming about, praying about. It's good because people, we're really good with our words. We're really good about saying all the right things, but it takes balls to show up and actually do the right thing. So that's another reason, if your person hasn't come back around, to just let them be. Enjoy your life. Do not sit around waiting for somebody to show up, because looking at that one person, thinking they're going to be the one, is going to prevent you from seeing the one when they actually arrive. Again, you are encouraged to reopen to the possibilities on how love and life is about to show up for you. All this angelic talk, do not forget, right? There are angels that are very, very fond of humans because we are God's creation, but there are other angels who are not so fond of God's creations and will do everything in their ability to add fuel to the flame. Stay in your calm, staying in your knowingness. That love that you desire, that thing that you desire will come to manifest. Just don't do nothing stupid. And don't let your ego get the best of you. Going back to all the craziness going on in the world, now it more than ever is the best time to really get good with your grounding practices, your meditation practices, and making sure you have that strong connection with the Most High. Some of you have to get your hands, especially if you know you are a chosen one, get your hands on a good copy of the Ethiopian Bible and start studying. There's a reason why they refer to Jesus as the creator of the universe. It's going to tie in a lot of those missing pieces that you have questions about and help you along your journey, help you do the thing that you've been called here to do. That being said, let's get into today's message for each sign. It could be for your sun, moon, and or rising sign. It could be for your person's sun, moon, and or rising sign. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. Any thoughts, questions, feelings you're having about anything that comes out in the reading, whether you're watching us live or watching this on the replay, put it in the comments and let's talk about it. Right? Let's chit chat about it. We're only going to do, in the interest of time, just angel messages, right? We won't pull a second message for the collective, just the angel messages. See what you guys need to know. How to start. You did do your first of the month rituals, right? And if you're watching this on the second and the third, you still have time. But being that today, August starts on a Saturday, Saturn's Day, it's time to dot your I's, cross your T's, and make sure your paperwork and everything else is in order. Going back to that cleaning up, making sure everything is in order to receive the very things that you've been praying for, hoping for, asking for. At the bottom of the deck, we have the dreamer taking that leap of faith towards your happily ever after with this king of water. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trust trustworthy and heartfelt advice, doing charity work, but also divine helpers coming in to assist you along your journey. Holy Spirit, what does the collective need to know according to their sun, moon, and or rising sign? We're going to start with Leo and end with Cancer. What else does the collective need to know for the month of August? I haven't had a chance to look at your comments. You guys know this by now, right? Or if this is your first time here, I do not look at the comments until I'm done channeling. I might glance down from time to time, but I like to stay locked into the actual channel. But feel free to leave any comments. And if you'd like a personal, that information is in my stories on TikTok and description on YouTube. Starting with Leo, you had a really positive message yesterday, and you have another one today with the Nine of Fire, with the Nine of Wands. Don't give up. Protect that which you have created. Have courage and believe in yourself. The hardest part is over. Some of y'all gonna not like this, but I'm gonna say it. You know that R. Kelly song, "The Storm Is Over Now"? That's what's playing, very loud, very clear. Going back to the storm and the Nephilim and the 40 days and the 40 nights, the giants, as they were called in that day, were destroyed um, slightly before the flood. Uriel, Gabriel got into their heads and had them destroy themselves, had them fight among themselves until none was left standing. When we talk about protecting your neck, we really talk about protecting your head, protecting your thoughts, making sure that they are in alignment with the will of the Most High, the will of the universe, the Creator, the plan for your life. And you know the plan for your life by your dreams, because the dreams you've been dreaming aren't dreams you've just happened upon. These are things that have been with you for a very, very long time, guiding you towards your happily ever after. At this point where things stand now, they're begging you not to give up, not to look back. Hang in there just a little while longer, because things are about to get a lot better than what they are. Virgo, sun, moon, and or rising with this 10 of water, which is the 10 of cups. A contented and rewarding family life is that dream of having that happily ever after. When we see the 10 of cups in traditional tarot, it's that family and the rainbow. And you know, the rainbow was left after the flood as a sign of the promise. Going back to the promises you know were made over your life, the covenant the Most High has with your bloodline. Claim it and walk in it fully, because it's manifesting. Going back to the things that are going on in the world, of course, take note of it, do what you got to do, but know that you have promises over your life that must come to pass. Do not let your faith waver. Libra, sun, moon, and or rising. If you're just joining us, we're going from Libra to Cancer. Knight of Earth. Now, when we see the Knight of Earth in traditional tarot, it is the Knight of Pentacles, aka the slowest moving knight in the entire deck. This is the knight that takes its time to get things done, but when it's done, it is done. You are walking into a season, Libra, sun, moon, and or rising, where it is done. There's nothing left for you to do besides hold space for that dream to manifest into your reality. Time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. A guardian angel. You're also going to see, Libra, destiny helpers coming through to help you along your journey. Scorpio, sun, moon, and or rising with unity, which is the Hierophant, right? Doing things the right way. Traditional viewpoints, or methods. Spiritual organizations seek out mentors and like minded friends. Scorpio, you are the sign that most needs to get their hands on a good copy of the Ethiopian Bible, like a real good translation, not the commercial one. Okay? Okay. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and or rising with the Ace of Earth. I like how the cards are coming out so far. Confirming for Leo through Sag that you guys are doing the work. Get ready to receive that answered prayer. Get ready for that wish to manifest into your reality. Sagittarius, the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. You too have destiny helpers coming along to assist you along your journey. A Libra placement is going to invest in you or bring you in front of people that can. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and or rising with the Page of Air, challenging information, delays, changes to plans, revisions that needs to be done. Not so much this truth being delivered without tact. Something that you were working on, investing in, didn't pan out. It happens. Mourn the loss, do what you have to do to make things right, to make yourself whole, and keep moving forward. Just don't get stuck in your head and don't let anybody get in your head and to try to stop you from moving forward, from trying to stop you from doing the thing you have already promised yourself that you're going to do. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and or rising with the Four of Water. Missing an opportunity because you're stubborn, missing an opportunity because you're in your ego, missing an opportunity because you think that you are, I'm hearing, God no higher, which is cool to have this. I'm hearing, I don't want to say it, but they're saying an inflated sense of ego and importance and worth. But who else is going to big you up? Right? Who else is going to put that crown on you? Some of you have crowned yourself and are living it up. Don't get so stuck in that energy. You know how they said pride comes before the fall? You are at risk of falling because you are so busy keeping up appearances and telling the world how much you won that you gain a whole lot of enemies. And those enemies are a lot closer than you realize. If you stay stuck on your own self worth, self importance, you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble and lose everything you just spent your lifetime building. Ouch, Aquarius. Get out of your ego. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and or rising with the Seven of Water. A complex decision. The need to do research but stop procrastinating. Going back to what was said about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You gotta make a move. You can't stay stuck any longer because you're not stuck. The world, your dreams, your gifts are waiting for you to just say yes. Just make a decision so they could come forward or not. Either way you spin it, people are going to be pissed. Do what sets your soul on fire. Do what's right for you. Do what's best for you in the long haul because after this Seven of Cups is the Eight of Cups, right? Dealing with that fallout of people having to say all that they want to say about the choices that you made for you. But after the Eight of Cups, right, when that is behind you, you get to that Nine of Cups, that joy, that fulfillment, that wanting for nothing. If you truly want to want for nothing, let go of the people, places, and things that do not fit your highest good and keep swimming, right? Just keep swimming and leaving everything else in the past. Aries, Sun, Moon, and or rising with life experience, which is the Tower card, a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. There's news coming in this week around Thursday or Friday that is going to shift everything and bring some kind of release. take the edge off, take the pressure off. So know that the help that you are seeking is already on its way to you. Taurus, sun, moon, and or rising with this 10 of air, which is the 10 of swords, is the end of a difficult situation. Embrace the changes that these situations brought and expect things to get better now. Start your month in the full knowingness that things are not only going to get better, they're about to get a lot better. Recovering from an addiction, especially people pleasing, the moment that you chose yourself or the moment that you choose yourself, shifts and changes everything, especially when it comes to your bag. Gemini, sun, moon, and or rising with the Knight of air. Events that occur with great speed. Things are changing, things are shifting, things are happening. Some of you might find it hard to keep up, but keep up, Buttercup. Things are going to get better. Review all your options, but don't take time. Don't take too much time trying to decide between this and that. Follow your intuition, follow your heart, and it will steer you in the right direction. Last but not least, Cancer. Of course, the renewal card would have to come up as we're talking about rebirth and renewal because it's the theme of August. Things finally falling into place, judgment being casted down, wrongs being made right, a favorable assessment of the facts, and you moving in a new direction that aligns you with your happily ever after, with the things that set your heart on fire. Before we wrap up, because I don't think anybody, let me double check, requested a reading. Yeah. Any thoughts, questions, feelings you want to share? All that money to go in the garden. Listen, when it comes to the money, hi, Miss Nicole, that people have spent on bippity boppity boo, it's criminal. It is criminal. They were better off investing it into some stock or something that could give them great dividends. But no, right? They let their ego get the best of them to do the things that they weren't supposed to do because they felt, I have to get the girl, I have to get the guy. Who even told you that was your forever person? Maybe that was the person that was supposed to let you know that magic isn't always the answer. By the way, I'll save that for another day when we really get into the falling ones and the watchers and the different levels of angels and how mankind ended up to be where we're at now. MSN, thank you. I really don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm not even going to try it, so we're just going to say MSM. Hi. Hi, Stefano. I'm so grateful you were able to join us. We had a little technical difficulties in the beginning, of course. Of course, that is expected. Hi, Honeybee. Hi, Nessa Ness. Hello, Neek. Let's see who else is here. Tomato, how are you? Hi, Ollie. Hi, Layla. Georgia girl, how are you? Super conscious enthusiast, how are you? Soleil, I believe you received the message that you needed. If not, book a personal reading. Personal readings and sessions, you could save 25% off on Dream 711 by using code. Thank you. Super conscious, it always comes back. There's always a price to pay. We get that moment of grace where the Most High watches us dibbling and dabbling in things we got no business doing. We get a moment to self correct. We get all the signs, the dreams. But if you're so far in your ego that you don't pick them up, there comes a point where God says, okay, enough. And for those of you who have been under heavy spiritual attack, we heard a couple of days ago that has already happened. That's enough moment happened the minute Saturn went retrograde last Sunday. So you're going to hear what happens to this person and that person. When you hear it, of course you want to be human and offer them maybe a little sympathy, but not too much. Not too much because we don't know what they did. We do know what they did. We have an idea. Ebony Angel. It's okay. It's okay, right? Because this is going to be up on, the YouTube channel. So if you ever missed them, they're going to be there under the live tab. Thank you for all of the new follows. I appreciate it. Oodles and oodles. Hi, Cass. Annie, hi, Chili. Angela Davis, hello. Any thoughts, feelings, questions you want to share with the collective before we wrap up? Why do people think that? That's a good question because I've been trying to answer that question. And it's actually one of the things that got me into psychology. From a kid, I knew I wanted to go into psychology to figure out why do people do the things that they did. Being around the elders and listening to the stories, even though I wasn't supposed to be around, I would always sneak just to hear what the adults were talking about. And even as a child, it didn't make sense. Why do you want that woman's husband? Do you not have your own husband? Is there not enough husbands to go around? Is there not enough? Like you have a wife and a girlfriend, you want another one, and you're mad that she doesn't want to get into this agreement with you? I don't understand. And when I was a kid, I thought it was because I was a kid. And as an adult, I still don't understand why people do these things. But I do know from a psychological standpoint, a lot of it comes from ego and ownership. Saying that I want this thing and I have to have this thing because I want it, not because I love it, right? The people that love to pick flowers rather than just enjoy the flower, they think they have to have it, even though they know once they pick it, it's going to die. Some people don't have that mindset. We'll keep it basic to realize that love is supposed to come and go, right? Like the tides, like the waves. And just because it comes and goes doesn't mean that the person's going to be gone forever. They just need to be free to do what they've been put on this earth to do while you do what you've been put on this earth to do, together or apart. If you're true divine partners, if you're truly meant to be together, there's nothing that's going to stop you from being together. But when you try to force it, that's when you get all kinds of problems. And if you have children, the sins of the father, the sins of the mother, your children pay for it because these demons, let me tell you something. As a voodoo priestess, reason why I only do the herbs and the water and the light, because even though those things take time, right? When you think about planting a seed in the ground, it takes time to germinate, sprout, and be whatever it's supposed to be. Some seeds that you plant don't even sprout and do all those things it's supposed to do in that same season. It takes the whole year before you see that fruit of your labor. And a lot of times people don't want that. They want what they want now. So they go to the other thing that involves the red substance. I'm going to keep it social media safe because it's quick, right? Think about lighting a match. Think about making a cut and letting it flow. Very quick, very now, very happening. But there's a price to pay. And from what I've seen in these spiritual streets, there's no spiritual practitioner that will give you that disclosure that, listen, if you do this, these are the ramifications of doing it. It's going to work for a year. It's going to work for 5 years. It's going to work for 10 years. And then you're going to have to pay the piper. And this is how the piper is going to show up. They don't mention that part. They just say, oh, you want that woman's husband? This is what you have to do. Bring me a goat. Bring me a lamb. Bring me a chicken. Bring me a friend, right? Don't do it. You will get those instant results, and it will be like you're living the dream for 2.5 seconds, and then it will all come crashing down. The long way is the hard way, but it's the way that keeps your hands and your soul clean. I don't know who needs to hear it, but Spirit had me wake up with that heavy, 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 heavy on my heart. This is why I tell you, listen to all the noise that's coming out of Miami because you're going to hear 1 minute it's all about, oh, he got me flights and he got me a bag. And the next minute you're going to hear, why is this person walking like this on whatever Main Street is in Miami? right? Looking like they lost their marbles, because they did. And the piper came to collect, and that's what you're left with. Blood types. Oh, blood type. Hi, Atma, right? Is tied to the angels that mated with the humans and produced the Nephilim, right? It is the original, that's why they call it O blood type, and O negative is most closely associated with the originals that were here. And if you watch the series, the originals and the vampires, like all of this lore ties into that moment in time where the watchers were looking at the humans and you're like, do you see what God's creations are doing? I want to do that too. I want to know what it's like to be human. I want to know what it's like to eat and have children and do this and do that, right? So they came down. I don't remember the exact number of them, but they came down and they taught man how to till the dirt, right? Pull the natural metals out and made iron, right? Before we were fighting with sticks and rocks, and now we have swords. They taught us that, right? There was a watcher that taught us how to make iron, right? And you will find that that ties in. Like if you watch each Watcher and what they gave mankind, it ties into the Orishas and it ties into the laws, right? And I'm pretty sure it ties into other pantheons as well. So one of them taught us how to make iron, right, by tilling the dirt. One of us specifically came to women to teach us how to use the herbs and do magic. One of us, hear me. That was a Freudian slip. Not my bad. One of them taught us how to right? Read the stars and pay attention to the signs and symbols, right? One of them taught us fire, right? How to make fire and what it's like, all of these things, the pyramids that we think the aliens made were the watchers, right? They came down with a lot of sacred knowledge that was supposed to stay in heaven. And they were like, here you go. And then they mated with the women and they produced these giants, right? And we could say they were giant in size, maybe, right? Especially if they're building pyramids, or just giant in spirit because you had this entity that was half angel and half human at first. Their appetite was for just the grains and the things that the humans produce. Then they went to the cattle and then they started eating the humans, right? Because their appetite was insatiable. This was like God was like, yeah, this is an abomination. So the watchers that came down to do this with the humans, you guys will be casted down into this pit and you will have to watch your children because the watchers, this is like something they wanted, right? Just to have children and watch them grow up. They had to watch their children destroy one another just before the flood. And they have to stay chained where they're at until the time comes where judgment is casted on the earth. So the vampires, the Lugawu, if you will, they all stem from that bloodline, right? Because I don't think all of the creations manifested into giants. We manifested into other types of entities that were half angel and half human. Um, Something else that came from that just slipped my mind. Maybe I'm not supposed to say it, but that's it in a nutshell. And A, B, and B, and all the other combinations came after. Those are the strictly humanoid, if you will, blood types. As I knock things around, but that's it in a nutshell. Not so nutshell. The burning of the books. I know a lot of chosen ones, because I've seen you guys post about it. You're up in arms. Don't forget, they've been doing this since the start of time. That's going back to the Ethiopian Bible. They've tried to destroy that manuscript, and new ones keep popping up all over the place that have been carbon dated to, 200 AD, 400 AD. When it comes to the real wisdom that we need to carry on civilization, somehow, some way, the books that we really need, the knowledge that we really need, will always resurface. So yeah, they could burn it all. It's no biggie. It's no problem. They will come back when we need them. Do you feel like revisiting first in the month rituals? Maybe. Would you like to do one? We're on a waning moon, so this is a good time to, and we technically did do one, right? Put it out there that releasing, making space for the things that you are calling in, right? Letting it go with the tide. So when the river comes back in, when the flow comes back in, it could bring you all the good things and you have space for it. I wouldn't say go full on cord cutting, but it's getting into the energy of embodying that which you are calling in and removing all blocks that prevent you or try to prevent you from doing so. There's a lot of, because of what's going on in the world and this power fighting for this power, right? On the verge of a you know what. And some people say we're already in a you know what. I'm not going to say it because you know, right? So there's a lot of heavy, heavy angelic activity going on. So while they're taking care of the collective, don't hesitate to be like, hey Mikey, by the way, this karmic, can you go talk to her with Gabriel and go handle that? Gabriel, Uriel, Michael, Raphael, north, east, west, south, do with that as you will. Especially Neek, especially Miss Nicole, especially Isolde. North, east, west, south. Okay? Okay. I was just thinking about originals, then the spin-off legacies, of course. Why am I looking over here and seeing this? That's probably why when I wake up with a message and I hear them saying, okay, you got to talk about this, remind the collective about this, remind the collective about that, it's because somebody somewhere either prayed about it, wrote about it, asked about it, and they wanted to give you the answer as a chosen one. The archangels, Michael, Raphael, Uriel, Gabriel. North, east, west, south. Do with that information as you may. As it resonates or not with you, do with it as you may. We are in the eclipse window. We are in the eclipse window. Prepare for sudden shifts, sudden changes. Light your candles, say your prayers, do your protection work. If anything, do your protection work. Especially those of you who are like, yeah, Etta, I know the karmic, the one with the bad wig, especially, right? Do your protection work. Say your prayers. Give it to your angels. Give it to your guides. Let them know what you need taken care of. We won't do a, because I just don't have time for it today. First of the month ritual. We'll do a prayer. We always do a prayer. But for the eclipse, because it's a week before. No, it's a week. It's next week. Is it on a Tuesday? Hold on. Well, we're all here together. Might as well make these plans, right? Shoot. So it is. Ooh. It is on the 11th or the 12th. No, St. Clair is on the 11th, so I believe the eclipse is on the 12th. I don't have my planner with me. Um, because that would be Mercury Day, right? It's on the 12th. 12 is 3. 3 is a number of balance and support, right? When we talk about the Father, the Son and the Holy Spirit. We'll be doing a new moon ritual. We'll be doing a new moon ritual. I'm thinking either on the live or Patreon by donation, right? You guys know what the donation link is. The love offering link is to remove all blocks and obstacles to your happily ever after and set the stage for you to receive everything expeditiously. We're going to call down, yeah, we could do that. We could lean into Mercury's energy because we're also leaning into the energy of Ogu. Speaking about iron, right? Especially those of you who are under severe spiritual attack, we'll do a wrap up on that, clear the road, and set you straight for the latter half of 2026, beginning of 2027, because eclipse energy lasts 6 months. So where a typical new moon ritual will last you that lunar cycle, maybe into the next, maybe into the third one as well, but this is at least 6 months. So we're going to do protection work and preparing you to receive what you asked for. Neek, Michael, Raphael, Uriel, Uriel, and Gabriel. Hi, New Heart. So that's what we'll be doing. And I'll probably do it on the Patreon or Zoom to keep it just for the people that are involved. Because TikTok, especially, I'm not so. YouTube seems to be a bit more safer, but TikTok has a lot of vampires, energy harvesters, and not so nice spiritual practitioners to be all out willy nilly doing what I would like to do for the collective. So we might switch that to Patreon or Zoom. More details to follow. More details to follow. Of course you did, Neek. Of course you did. Like, I am not surprised. I am not surprised. You got a lot of work to do, babe, and you're doing it. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Any thoughts? Stefano, I really appreciate, and I saw Robertson around too. Stefano, I really appreciate you being around. Masculine energy is needed to balance all the energies. So thank you for spending this part of your day with us. And Miss Nicole, I'm not even going to repeat that, but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. As we use these energies for love and light and manifesting all the good things, the dark side, they do the dark things. And they are, as we can see with everything coming out of Miami right now, right? That they're no longer covering it. It's no longer pretending it's not going on. Not only are they saying what they're doing, they're dropping names. They're calling people out. They're putting people on broadcast. Oh no. Mm-mm. Even if I didn't have the counselor background and knowing about ethics and confidentiality, right, and that being close to my heart, you do not say who you do work for, period. Even if you're working for two enemies, you don't mention to one person what you're doing for the other person. You don't even mention their names. And that's all I've been seeing these past 3 4 days is these people, these spiritualists mentioning this one and that one owes me this money and this one owes me this and I did this and this and this. And why you think first of all, it's a crime, spiritually speaking, to do that type of work and speak about it. I come from a generation where you don't say anything. Even if somebody looks you in your face, like a lot of the things, the rituals that they show you, like that was supposed to stay behind closed doors. You guys are not supposed to know about that. But everything's out in the open now, so oh well. Oh my, they started showing, oh my gosh. Why would they do that? Yep, if she saw it, other people saw it as well. You keep your spiritual business, keep your spiritual business and your wins. Oh, my babies, thank you. Especially those of you who are going through this renewal, not just cancer, right? Those of you who are getting crowned one way or another, going through your breakthrough, coming up out of the pits of hell and coming into your season, don't say not a word to anybody. Don't post about it. Don't boast about it. Keep that shit to yourself because they will come for you. Not just the frenemies, but perfect strangers who see you living just a little too happy, doing a little better than them. They're going to come for you because that's just the energy we're under. Because the Nephilim had to watch, the Watchers had to watch their kids destroy one another. The Watchers like to, the ones that were left behind, like to watch us destroy one another. That's where envy and jealousy and greed comes from, right? The seven deadly sins. Well, not so much gluttony and all of that, but envy especially, right? So we go at one another. The best way to keep yourself covered is to keep yourself covered. Get yourself a piece of obsidian and shut your mouth. Oh, you got married? Yeah, yeah. We just decided to. It was time. Notice the tone of my voice? Tuck in all your excitement. Keep that for your house. The celebrations, keep that for your home. Oh, wow, is that a new car? Yeah, the old one broke down. Oh, wow, your business is doing so good. Is it really? Because I don't know, but I guess usually I tell you not to go into your Eeyore energy, but you might need to lean into some Eeyore characteristics to veil the fact that you're entering your winning season. Oh, wow. He did what for you? I don't even know why he did that, but yeah, I guess. Oh, you should be happy. Should I be? I don't know. Because I don't know how, I just don't know. Huh. Right? Downplay, even though you are geeked inside, you are singing to, you are on cloud nine. Make it seem like you are on cloud one. Tuck it in. Because when those sudden shifts happen, those sudden changes happen, like this karmic that's trying to figure out why you and not her, a lot of people, not just when it comes to love, but when you are winning while the whole world is on fire, they're going to be, who the fuck are you? What did you do? Right? And then you're going to be called every name in the book, right? You can't sit there and have the conversation and say, listen, I didn't see you asking all these questions when I was drowning, when I didn't have anything. You weren't pressing me. But now that I have this new car, this new home, this new boo, this new marriage, this new thing, you got 50, 11 questions. They're not going to hear you. Your heart might want to say, listen, I went through the storm. I went through the struggle, right? I had to pull myself out of the depths of depression to make it here. You have no idea, as I look up and see 144 on the clock, what it took to make it here. You could talk, 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 talk. And to me and you and the rest of the soul tribe, we'd be like, oh my God, yeah, you did go a lot. But to that person sitting in the energy of envy, all they're going to hear is, wah, 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 wah. They won't hear anything you're actually saying. They'll be so entranced by the shine, the glimmer, the glory of what you've been able to manifest for yourself. They have no time to hear about your struggle and what it took for you to get there. Keep it to yourself. There will come a time when you are able to celebrate. But while we're under all this unsteady, chaotic energy, keep your good news for your nearest and dearest. Because the same one that you run and go and tell it to is the same one that's going to run to their bippity boppity boo person to put your name in a goat's mouth. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. This is why we have the soul tribe, right? This is one of the reasons, right? So we have this safe space where we could say, girl, right? Listen what happened to me, right? And sometimes even then, there is still a Judas or two that walks among us that see other people doing good and are like, well, damn, when it's my turn. So for now, keep it to yourself. Let us get through eclipse season. Let's revisit this idea of sharing our good news, sharing our wins until about October, not even October, November, because then we get into get it season where some people start doing their darkest of magic or trying to, right? We might just have to sit on it till next year. Or when people find out, oh, that's a pretty ring on your finger. Did you engage? Did you get engaged? I guess I did. Did I? I don't know. Things have been so busy, the kids. Blame it on work. Blaming on your kids having to do a million things because, in actuality, they do have a million things going on, right? To cut the conversation short and get the hell up out of Dodge. Exactly. I had to look at that comment. I hate the line, when is it my turn? It seems like you always get what you want and do. First of all, as a chosen one, it is your birthright. Second of all, it just doesn't get handed to you on a silver platter. You have to show and prove that you're able to steward it. You have to go through some type of Job season where your faith is tested. Because humans, we're crafty sons of bitches. We have betrayed the angels. We have betrayed God, pretending to be something that we're not. And we're at the stage where every generation has to work just a little bit harder to show that we are worthy of the thing and not going to use it for our own self needs, right? Egotistically, right? Of course, you're going to use some for self, but your gifts are not just for you, they're for you and everybody else. They're for you to come and do what you're supposed to do in this world and have the resources to get it done. People want to skip over that part, the hard part. This is why they go and get bippity boppity boo. It's easier to spend 5 grand, 10 grand, 50 grand to get something done than to put in the sweat equity, the tears equity, the loss equity, right? I don't condone it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do. I've seen people put up their houses. I've seen people go bankrupt multiple times because they get addicted to chasing that high. It's like crack. You'll never get that first high back and spend a lifetime just destroying yourself trying to. It surely did, Neek. They're not going to come and visit you just to say what up, just to say I'm passing through. Do you see me? No, because they have a message for you. Work is being done. For you to have gotten the response that you did when you did the thing that you did shows that they need you to keep doing what you're doing to get yourself from where you're at to where you want to go. These moments are indeed priceless, Atma, like the ones saying keep it in the home. And sometimes, Stefano, not even that. There's people in our homes, some of us, that don't want us, that want us to see us doing good. One of my favorite sayings to say, right? They want to see you doing good just as long as you're not doing better than them. Keep it to yourself, Isolde. And keep doing what you're doing for you and yours alone. All right, my dears, it's 1:49. I gotta go get a snack. When they come through like this, hot and heavy, right? They leave me famished. Biggest takeaway, your breakthrough is coming. Hanging there just a little while longer. Keep doing the things, keep showing up, taking the right way. And the right way is right for you. If you want to go see the boker, you want to go do the bippity boppity boo, you want to put your hands in that red fluid, be my guest. I don't condone it over here. And I won't co sign on it. If you feel that that's what you need to go get it done, exercise your free will. Just know, read the fine print. Know what you're getting yourself into before you sign that contract. Don't get caught slipping like Ariel did, right? Because you don't have a King Midas that's going to come and save you. Hmm, 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 hmm. It was a girl in a limo, and she said, "We are here for you. He sent us." Are you familiar Neek, I had to get my glass of water. With the spirits that work in your family, the spirits that are contracted to be with your family through millennia, that's the mission for this weekend. That is the mission for this weekend. It feels like it. There's nobody that gravitates to these sessions, right? The Divine Soul Sessions, my soul tribe, right? There's nobody that hears my voice that stays that doesn't have some kind of connection to either the Orishas or the Loa. I don't make the rules, I just show up. So you got to dig deeper, right? You've already confirmed it in spirit. Now make the necessary moves. Do the research on your terms, right? You could work with a priest or a priestess, right? But they really want you to get a handle of what they want you to know before somebody else tells you what you should know. And then ask all the questions, right? I don't say I have all the answers, but they might come through and give you an answer like they did the other day, right? Right. That being said, it's Saturday. I pray that each and one of you not only have an amazing day, but I pray this August brings you the breakthrough, the blessings, and the answered prayers that you have been desiring for all of 26. I pray that August brings you all of the abundance, the prosperity, the good health, and the protection that's in line with all of the work that you have done. I pray that you are compensated abundantly for your faith, for showing up through the struggle and doing what you have to do, not only for yourself, but for your loved ones. Do not let the struggle harden your heart and trust that everything will always work out for your highest and greatest good, especially if you believe. Stay blessed.